When I started out as a financial advisor, they used to say that the businessman's driving the car, the financial advisors sat on the front seat pointing out where to go, the bank manager's complaining about the view at the side of the car, and the accountant's looking out the back window telling you what you've hit. That's just not the way we work with Hayward Wright. It's about every day. We're solving the problems as we go along, as they're happening in the business, rather than discussing the end of year accounts. The end of year accounts actually almost write themselves, because you've done it right as you go along. I'm Gareth Evans. I'm a director of Platinum Property Agents. We're an estate agents, letting agents and mortgage brokers based in St John's and Worcester. We used to have a bookkeeper, and then we used to take the accounts from the bookkeeper and take it to the accountant, and they used to sign them off and submit them. And that seemed to work well for a number of years until the revenue investigators for a capital gains tax bill. The bookkeeper blamed the accountant, and the accountant said I needed a specialist, and in the end I actually went to the revenue myself. It wasn't a £37,000 bill, sorted it all out with them, with all the records, and it was an error that was made by the bookkeeper that had been ignored by the accountant. And you're thinking, well, why am I paying for two lots of professionals? I just need somebody who can take charge of everything and sort it right through. So we created a spec sheet and went to a number of accountants, and Alistair Hayward Wright came up with the right answers in terms of representing the business rather than just generating a load of accounts. The way that relationship impacts the business is that it takes my credibility with my clients beyond being just a letting agent or an estate agent or just someone who sorts a mortgage out, to be a knowledgeable go-to person. Even though I might not know the answer, I've got the suggestions. I mean, I'll give one example, is that I did a viewing on a house of multi-occupancy student property. During that viewing, it was obvious the person had never owned a student property before. I asked him about, well, should he own, has he considered buying it with a limited company? He then said, no, his accountant had said, buy the property first, we'll sort all that out afterwards. Well, my knowledge from my associate with Alistair is that that's not the way to do it. You actually have to work these things through first. I said, but I can't give you that advice. You need to speak to a professional. He then spoke to Alistair, got the advice he needed. He came back to us as a result for the mortgage. He also bought the investment property. I'm pretty confident that no other estate agent would have had a viewing at that level. Certainly day-to-day wise, we've noticed a big difference. We know what profit we're doing, we know what our overheads are, we can monitor our costs, and that's because Alice is every week bringing stuff up to date and just giving me 2 or 3 queries each week to solve, which I can cope with easily within my workload. Would I recommend Hayward Wright? Certainly, without hesitation. I've regularly recommended my clients to Hayward Wright, and they've certainly been supportive and a great asset to our business for the last 12 years.